grow a pair. Just take it and move on. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Vicky, good to see you. Do you have PJ Cruikshank?
Okay, that's still fine. Jesus still loves us.
Hey, man. Michael Con, what's up, Peter Italian? How you guys doing? And we are live, I think. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Tonight's going to be a very triggersome stream for some people. I've already been having some triggered numpties like Sean Hawkins coming in.
You know, Flatzoid, both you and Dave are just...
Get out of my car!
You are too much of a coward.
And Craig, if you beat the Fallacy King.
You stupid woman.
That's going to be an interesting one tonight. What's up, yo, Fluffs? Good to see you. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could make it. It's good to see you all. Woohoo! So we got PJ Cruikshank and Dave Sovereign Soul in on the restreams. Good to see you. How you guys doing?
Oh, groovy, sir. Oh, groovy.
Fantabulous.
We're already starting off with 2 super chats from Roger Ledwell. His first one is, it's raining Dell. Hallelujah. Oh. Thank you very much for your super chat, Roger. You rock. And his second one says, I meant that in the straightest way. I would hope so. Thank you very much for the super chats. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Good to see you. Please hit the likes, share the show, and subscribe if you haven't already. And everybody on TikTok, thanks for coming. Please just follow and hit those likes as well. What's up? Okay, so we have Dell again. PJ, you said you read through some of the comments before the show started between Dell.
Yeah. I actually thought yesterday when he said about the push and the pull thing with the magnets, I thought he said push mistakenly. And then I come in and seen the conversation between him and Jeff, and he didn't. He actually means it. There's no such thing as a pulling force. There's only a pushing force, apparently.
Yeah, he takes it quite seriously. He does think so. Roger, for another $2 super chat, he says, one last thing, don't be a chuff nugget. Yeah, tell that to Dow. But thank you very much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Good to see all of you. You guys rock. So yeah, I think hit the likes, share the show. It really, really will help the show to get out to a wider audience. Okay, so this is Dell. And Dell made a video trying to explain that you don't get such thing as a pull force. He says pull and push are the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so be prepared.
If you push something with your body, do you use the same muscles as pulling? You don't. Does that not show it's kind of different? I mean, that's biology, but still.
I mean, according to physics,
one is a muscle contraction.
Pushing is toward. Pushing is away, pulling is towards. Okay? So if he's claiming, push and pull are the same thing, the guy's trying to change the definition of physics.
Yeah. I think so. One's like a contraction and one's an extension sort of thing. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, but let's quickly start again and listen what he says.
This is for the childlike minds, to simplify things for them and explain real physics to them and the real physics of the real world. So we'll start again, you know, many people hear this as repetitive, but there's some real slow people of the world who really struggle, and you're going to see some clips that I'll intersect into this.
Whoa.
I've never seen anything move just because of the
Unfortunately, when he plays our parts, it's very soft. Though.
So, first and foremost, the discussion surrounding force. Force is something that's external to matter, right? Matter is inert. It's inanimate. It cannot spontaneously move. Okay? Doesn't have volition, doesn't have a soul, doesn't have will, has nothing. Okay? So, in order for that to move, something external has to make it move.
Yeah. I think we agree with that.
Absolutely.
Have we ever claimed other than that, though?
No, he's right. To that point, he's definitely right.
Yeah, you have a force. And when we claiming we have a force with relative density to equilibrium, it's an unbalanced force due to the object in the medium. It has an unbalanced force because the medium either supports it or can't support it. So its density ratio, displacement, gives it acceleration. It's the same as if I have to take this ball, for instance, and I stick it on a surface, but the surface has got a slope. Okay. Now, what happens when I let go? It had an unbalanced force.
I actually thought it was going to float into the sky. I didn't know that was going to happen in flights. That's a surprise to me.
But think about it, because it was on a slope, okay?
Of course.
So it had an unbalanced force. Let's just say there was a little pebble holding that ball in place. And that pebble decided it can't support that rock anymore. And it just wear and tear, and then the ball starts rolling. Was there any outside influence from anything other than the medium couldn't support the weight of the ball?
That's it.
That was it.
That's it.
Right. Yep.
But don't worry. You'll see just how far he's trying to stretch, trying to pull strings here to get his point across.
Right? You have to have an external thing. Now note, in order for an external thing to move that, it has to be moving. To press upon it and make it move. It's very, very, very simple. The problem is that people have Dunning-Kruger and they have a bias and they don't know what they're thinking and what their reasoning actually is. It's this simple. Okay? Force is external to the matter. If I use force, right, like such, and I have to move, something has to be moving, motion, and that comes into contact with that and moves and pushes upon that. Now that moves because there's an external force, me, moving. If I, impulse, because we hear so many times the word impulse, and apparently matter, according to the flatzoids, the flatardzoids of the world, matter has things in it like the ability to move.
Okay, I'm going to say this again. When have we ever claimed that matter is sentient or something and just starts moving on its own?
Never.
So he's insulting us and lying about what we say.
Because he has a comprehension problem. It's all over a comprehension problem.
Yep.
Yeah, because he doesn't understand the concept of energy. We had this problem the last time he was on, remember? He thinks moving causes moving, but he doesn't understand the transference of energy is what causes the moving.
He was chicken and egg in it when what came first, movement or the energy, the force. Right.
Exactly.
And it was always movement.
Exactly. So it's very simple, Dal. We've never made a claim that the objects are sentient and they decide to move on their own or whatever. No one's ever claimed that. Heck, even you need energy to move yourself. No energy transference, no movement. A force is just simply the application of that energy. You get two different type of forces. You get a push force and a pull force. The problem is Dell thinks there's only one type of force. He says there is no such thing as a push force. He says there's only a pull force.
Okay.
Only a push force. He says there's no pull force, which goes totally against physics and reality.
I just don't understand. If you're pulling someone up, just say you're pulling someone up on a rope that's below you, how is there any pushing involved? I don't get how that's a push force.
Yeah, well, you'll see how he explains it, because he makes my point that
Okay.
it's still a pull. But we'll see now. I'll explain as soon as he says it. But first, we got another super chat from Roger Led. Well, thank you. He says, "Now I know what Dunning-Kruger sounds like." Yes, his name's Dell. I agree. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. You rock. Okay, let's see what he says further.
Impulse and blah, blah, blah.
Unfortunately, it's very soft when he plays our parts. I don't know why he puts it so soft. Can't even hear what I said. Or can you guys hear it loud enough? I can't hear it at all.
Doesn't he like review the shit that he puts out before he puts it out?
No. He doesn't make sure that the sound
Impulse
level
is
is correct.
the force delivery. You know, so if I'm moving like that, I'm applying pressure, I'm applying force. Now if I
That's impulse.
hit it like that, that's impulse.
Yes.
You know, if I want to drive that into the table.
So, do you see what I'm saying? He said there's no impulse when things are accelerating. He says, oh, you're always saying impulse, but he just literally demonstrated impulse when he accelerated the object. So I don't know where he's coming from, because he's saying I'm wrong. He's saying impulse is just idiotic, but he literally just demonstrated impulse, the thing that he says doesn't exist.
Okay.
That's called Dunning-Kruger, Dell. But yeah.
Why does Dunning get the top billing in that? Why is it not Kruger Dunning? What the fuck, man? I'd be up in arms. If I was Dunning, I'd be, you know, it's like, how did Garfunkel become second to Simon? I mean,
Yeah. Oh, did you guys listen to Mr. Cheswick's latest Upward Rising Shed? From the land of the uprising shed. Very good.
No, I haven't seen it. No, I'll have to.
Yeah, he made a song about Dell's uprising shed. Actually, very good.
Nice.
It was crazy yesterday with that. He come on here and started that just with that whole little diatribe of nonsense, man. I was just like, holy crap. I have deep respect for you being able to just sew that together satirically like that. Seamless. Just seamless. I was like, that's great. I get on a run from time to time.
Yeah, but exactly, Sleeping Warrior, he is contradicting himself. He's trying to tell me I'm wrong when doing demonstrations showing me I'm right. But isn't that what Dunning-Kruger is? Okay, carry on.
Oh, you know, by simply pushing it, I'm going to struggle. But if I force it down impulsively with an impulsive release of force like that, then it'll drive it into it. So impulse is what acts upon it. The matter, the inanimate matter, has no impulse, has no ability to move. Impulse is what's acting on it, how the force acts upon it.
Yep.
So to clarify, you need external force. You cannot claim matter has the ability to move on its own by stating it has energy.
Again, have we ever said that things just move on their own without having a force.
No.
We literally say there's an attributed force, an unbalanced force.
Listen to Freddy Krueger.
So yeah, it's quite sad, Dal. You would think by now you would understand what's going on here.
Or it has impulse, or it has force. Force is external to it and acts upon it. So if I'm holding that there and I let that go, and you claim it moves from there to there, you're claiming there's a force present.
Yeah.
You cannot claim that this has its own force unless it's already in motion. The only way for that to claim it has force is if it's already in motion and it hits something else. And
False. That is false. You know how I can show it has a force attributed to it? Has anybody seen a landslide before?
Oh, yeah. Well, not in real life, but seen one on TV. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's say there's a house on the side of a hill.
Yeah.
And the ground gives way. Does that
Erosion.
house accelerate?
Absolutely.
Huh. Can anybody tell me, did someone have to move to push that house off, or did it just move on its own volition because the air around it, the medium, is not able to support it anymore?
That's what
So that shows that an inanimate object that was static had a force applied, Dal. The only reason it couldn't get anywhere was because it was balanced with the ground. The ground was holding it up. Roger Little, thank you for your $2 which he says, Freddy is smarter than this. Freddy does rock though. Thank you very much, man. You rock. Fletcher, Dal is trying to say that an object cannot be displaced by its own medium. That's his angle. Yep. Because he wants to be right, even though he's wrong. The reason he needs this to be this is because he pushes the equivalence principle. He pushes globe rhetoric. The guy even has the audacity to say we are saying we pushing globe. Last time I checked, the globe says the Earth's moving. We say the Earth's stationary. He says the Earth's moving. So who's pushing globe rhetoric?
That's what I'm saying.
But Roger, you rock, man. Thank you for your super chat. Really, really appreciate it.
makes that move. So you need motion, force. That's what force is. Matter in motion, and then depending on the size of the matter and how fast it's moving is going to denote how much motion there is of the next piece of matter. Okay? There has to be an external thing, in this case, me. With volition and will and muscles and a skeletal system, I can move stuff. Alright?
Right.
So, you can't keep saying impulse, impulse. Impulse is a delivery of force.
Yes. Impulse is a delivery of force. Exactly. Making my point. You are delivering the impulse.
I completely agree with him so far.
Yeah. So I don't understand what his issue is. What's your issue so far, Dal? Literally making our point and saying we're wrong. How? Okay. Maybe he gets better with it. I don't know.
Boom. Impulse. Boom. Like an explosion. Boom. That's impulse. Boom. Right? It's all pressure. It's all push. Something's pushing on it. Now we get to the next one. I'll insert a little derp here for you.
Three people are pushing. Oh my word. They're pulling, Dal. They are pulling. It says it on screen, by the way.
That's where I thought he made a mistake. That's where I thought he misspoke.
No, he literally thinks that there is no such thing as a pulling force. Hey, Teddy, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Sorry, I
He
said it was
literally-
to do with I said it was to do with a magnet. It wasn't. It was to do with the tug of war. He said pushing the tug of war, and I just thought he misspoke. But that was it. I just thought he said the wrong thing. That was all. I didn't realize he actually meant it.
No,
Are you familiar with a sitcom called Friends?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you know Ross, he's like this paleontologist guy, and Phoebe, she's like this real ditzy girl, right?
Yeah.
And
Phoebe the
Ross
blonde,
is talking to her on this one episode, and he says, "What? You don't believe in dinosaurs?" And she goes, "No, I don't." And he says, "Well, I suppose you don't believe in gravity either." And she goes, "I've never really felt like I was being pulled, more like I'm maybe being pushed down." And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
From innocence comes what? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay.
In Friends though, Phoebe would be the flat earther, guarantee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Phoebe
Yeah.
would be the flat earther. If you push, there'll be a bit of a slack in the middle. If they all push. A pile of bodies.
Can anybody show me a tug of war where they push the rope, please?
You would need a pole for that, a rigid pole.
And pressure.
Somebody pushing a rope. That's what I want to see.
Okay. Oh, if somebody's pushing on a rope, it would be better to be blushing my dude. This is because these Dunning-Kruger fucktards have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. Right? So here I've got a rope. Right? Now, comprehend, flat-haired zoids and your sycophantic group of morons. Right? And I'll stop calling you that once you concede reality and accept what's being shown to you. Right? I highly doubt
What he's
it.
gonna do, guys?
Now, they think tug of
I'll
war,
be a
you're
flat
bully.
dude anytime. Do not accept that. I'll be a
pushed the
sycophant.
string. But look, guys, he just pushed the string together. What's happening? Where's the tension going? That's a push force, Dal. When you pull your hands apart, that's a pull force, Dal.
Yep.
Push, pull. Push, pull.
Expansion, contraction.
Push. Yeah. Push, pull.
Exhale.
Pull. Oh man, it's
He got hung up in the Dr. Doolittle with the push me pull you. See, remember that animal? It was the two front ends of an animal. It was called a push me pull you, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. No, Teddy, you didn't miss that much. We practically just started. We just have Dal from Beyond the Imaginary Curve trying to teach us physics. He apparently thinks there's no such thing as a pull force. He thinks there's only a push force. Yeah. Hey, Ryan, get on Twitter, man. Get on TikTok, please, and share the show. Really would appreciate it. Hey, Josh. Hey, Brian. Ryan as well. Movement Rider, Saddle Bum. Who else? Vicky. There's a lot of people in. Chilling. Josh, 4 Jacks. Iron. Dali's probably watching from the sidelines as well. Sleeping Warrior. 1 Spirit. Sandro. Mr. Cheswick. Sorry, guys. There's so much names, but it's good to see you all. Thank you for coming.
Yep, Brian. We're a sycophantic group of morons.
You're just retarded.
Aye, definitely. Got to be.
They can't comprehend, right? That, when we're talking about physics is not colloquial language, okay?
No,
so in colloquial terms, right, I pulled this towards me. I pushed this away from me. I pulled it towards me. I pushed it away from me.
Well done, Dal.
Push and pull. Colloquial language for idiots.
Sorry, that's
Wow.
not colloquial.
It's not colloquial, it's literal.
Yeah.
That is
There's
literal
no
physics
slang in
language.
there no slang there whatsoever. I mean, if you were to say shove or haul, that's colloquial probably, that for push and pull, but not push and pull, that's not colloquial. Shove, definitely, I would say it's colloquial.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just another word for it, but maybe it's colloquial for some people. I like saying shove instead of, you know what I mean, push, more often than saying the word push. Because I would say shove up in Scotland instead of push. I shoved them off a cliff, that kind of thing. I would say that colloquially, but it's also there as a normal word as well. But pull and push is not colloquial. It's not colloquial language. It's literal.
Yeah, I don't know what he's getting at, that it's just colloquial. No, it's taught as a
If I was wrong about, if I find out I'm wrong about that somehow, I admit it. But that is, to me, that's not colloquial language.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get on. This is what it says. This is from Libertex Physics. Okay. Force is any influence that causes an object to change either concerning its movement, direction, or geometric construction. In physics, a force is influence that causes an object to undergo a certain change, either concerning its movement, direction, or geometric construction. It is measured with SI unit of newtons. A force is which can cause an object with mass to change its velocity, i.e. to accelerate, to which can cause flexible object to deform. Force can also be described by intuitive concepts as push or pull. A force has both magnitude and direction, making it vector quantity. Okay. I was saying it earlier for Dell. There we go, guys. Here is a example. A magnet. Let's do this. Let's just say a magnet. Can a magnet push or pull something without you touching it?
Both. If it's another magnet, it can repel another magnet if it's the same polarity, on the same polarity side. I think that's how it's described. But
yeah. So you can use a magnet to push something, and you can use a magnet to attract, so to pull towards
Absolutely. it. Yeah.
Great. So it's two different forces. Okay. We see, but yeah, it's definitely not colloquial. That's the whole point. There's nothing colloquial about push and pull. That's physics. That's what it is. Okay, let's quickly get to where he carries on, because I got a demonstration for him as well.
Now, in physics, what we have here, we'll go to the tug of war thing, right? What we have is if there's no friction here, right? So if I'm just doing that and applying, firstly, I apply pressure, push to grip, right? Then I'm now trying to convert that pressure in that direction and that direction. So I'm pushing upon the rope, right?
There, what's going on with that rope when you're pushing it, Del?
You notice it's not moving your other hand.
Ooh.
Huh.
It would have to be a rigid pull for that one, eh?
Yep.
But think about it.
If it was a solid rod.
But think what's happening there, though. He's pushing the rope towards you. Look at how it's bunching up.
Yeah.
That's called a push force, Del. Now, when you pull it apart and it has tension, that's called a pulling force, Del. Yes, you have force with your fingers holding the string. Obviously, that's a pressure. You have to apply pressure to have friction to hold it.
Yeah.
That is just how things work. It's a bit difficult to expect to have friction and a thing if you're not pressure to hold it. The point is, you are pulling it apart. When I tear a piece of paper, I pull it apart to tear it. I don't push it together to tear it.
No, that crumples it up. You have compression and expansion.
That'd be reverse entropy.
Exactly. So hopefully Dell will understand this in the future, but we'll get there. For now, we just watch the guy embarrass himself.
Pushing on it. And if I don't get friction, look what happens. Look what happens. Oh no, I'm trying to push it in that direction. That's what it is. That's the physics, the mechanisms, not the colloquial use of the words. That being the observer, relative to the observer, I'm trying to bring something towards me. Colloquially, you say pull. Physically, mechanisms, the actual fundamental aspects of the matter and the interactions between them. Pressure, push. Now I must convert my push in the opposite directions. If I don't have anything to push against, like I'll use this, you can understand it here. When I grip,
You don't push in opposite directions, you total chuff nugget.
Wow.
He thinks because he's holding it, he's applying pressure on the string and he's pulling that way. He's saying because he's applying a pressure, therefore it's a push.
Yeah, there with a solid rod, the little screw, that's going to go, of course, you're going to get the same reaction both ways because it's not subject to compression.
That's it.
Okay, the rope was subject to compression.
And notice, guys, everything he's showing here is demonstrating the use of energy transference, which he said doesn't exist.
Right.
Everything he's showing shows energy to be transferred and transformed. The thing he said doesn't exist. He's pulling the thing he says doesn't exist. He's literally on screen showing the difference between push and pull, which he says are not the same. He says are exactly the same, I mean.
this. Now I'm trying to push it in that direction. Now I've got little ridges in here and the pressure's now here on these little ridge parts. Pressure's now here. See? In here. Without that, I have nothing to push against. It's the same with a bloody rope. Right? If that was made of grease and it was all greased up and I had no ridges, nothing to push against, I would just slip off as I try to apply pressure in that direction. Okay? Morons. And I'm going to keep calling you morons because that's exactly what you're. Okay? No, personally. Don't know you personally. Your content, talking about physics, this subject, you are moronic. You're embarrassing.
Talk about projection. Talk about projection.
Wow. I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know if this idea of pushing and pulling is the same thing. I mean, you can. I mean, like, you know, when he was pulling the string with his fingers, but his knuckles were pushing against each other. I suppose in that aspect, you could pull the rope and push your knuckles together at the same time, but you're still on that rope. It's on that string. It's still a pulling tension. You know what I mean?
Does he smoke crack?
I think it's something much stronger than that.
I doubt it. He's not skinny enough, but you can get it.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
There's mold in his house. It's making his brain funny.
Wow.
Get that cat piss disease that people get makes them go crazy and end up with 1,000 cats.
That's toxoplasmosis, is it something like that? Toxoplasmosis? I don't know.
Yeah.
And you keep digging your heels in, although I'm going to show you these things over and over and over again until maybe one day it does sink in. Right? Tug of war is applied pressure in both directions. Without resistance, some friction, something to push against, you will achieve nothing. How much more simple do I have to make it for you people? So again, like in this scenario,
I wouldn't know
right?
if he's
So you
ever been
understand now,
explained
I must
before.
apply pressure here. Now I must convey.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I want to know if he's ever been, like, if he was taught that. Because it's certainly, I mean, I know we don't, like, think much of schools, the education system, but that's not what we were taught in Scotland at the school. And I know he's probably about the same age as me, maybe a year younger, because his email says 77. But so he's about a year younger than me. So he went to school the same time as me. It's not what we were taught.
It's not,
not
because
what
it goes
Well,
against
even
physics.
despite what anybody's been taught, have you had any real world experience with things? You know, I mean, when was the last time you put your extension cord away by pushing it away? You know, I mean, pushing it into a coil, or what? Did you push that piece of string into a knot? How did that work? I mean,
Exactly. Yeah, I should have said thank you, Roger Ladle, for your $2, which said Dell practices being a cod piece daily. Yes, really appreciate it, man.
Pulley system is called a pulley system, not a pushy system.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
but don't
you.
worry, we're going to be explaining a few things to him now based on physics on what's pulling and everything as well, because he seems to not understand how physics actually works.
But that's
It's
the
actually
same
very sad.
thinking. You can get that same thinking. People think that a vacuum is sucking inward.
Exactly, and
It's
it's not.
not. It's not. It's the outside pressure is pushing in. You know, so it's easy to think that, but I don't know. Maybe he's going along those same type of thinking with this string. I'm really trying to wrap my head around what the fuck he's talking about. It's not easy.
Well, let's put it
We
this
can get
way.
the same
Before
result
this
by
stream,
pushing or pulling an object. The same, like, and
before we started the stream, well, first I have to say thank you, 4Jacks, for gifting a membership. Really, really appreciate it, man. You rock. So Tony Whitcomb, welcome to membership. Woohoo! Okay, so anyway, really appreciate it, 4Jacks, for the membership. You rock. He was asking for demonstrations on pulling force. I said, okay. When you drive a car and you pull a trailer on the back, that's a pulling force. When you have a horse pulling a carriage, that's a pulling force. When you go to a well and you pull that bucket of water up, that's a pulling force. He says just, no, it's not. That's his rebuttal.
Wow.
Yeah. So I really don't know what to say to the guy, but other than his hand wave dismissal of actual physics doesn't make it wrong. It just makes him a moron. It's as simple as that.
Convert that pressure to go in that direction. So I need some friction resistance to my pressure going in that direction because I'm pushing against the rope, okay? To push it in that direction. Now as I push it in that direction, the pressure now is on the rope here, acting here on the inside of the eyelet, going in that direction. So it's applying pressure, pushing on the inside of the eyelet.
No.
Right, that's the reality, lads. So when you claim
reality at all, Del.
Wow.
Huh?
I said that had no basis in reality at all, Del. I'm sorry. I don't know
Three
what.
quarters of it, I agreed with him, and until the end part. That's it. Up till the end part, fine, but no.
I mean, we can show citation after citation after citation showing force is either a push or a pull. Not the same thing. Two different type of forces. The reason they're two different type of forces is because they have different vectors. One is either towards and one is away. You use different type of forces to push and use different type of forces to pull.
You can get the same outcome on an object, but
Movement, you get a movement. That's what a force does. It causes movement.
Yeah, but they're different forces.
Yeah, they're different forces. They're not the same force. But But let's just let him finish his video quickly, then we can show him some physics.
That thing was stationary, and I let it go, and it moves from the point it's at down to here. There must be an external force acting. But you don't have one.
Yes, we do.
Because you keep saying, unbalanced and balanced forces and stuffs, and unbalanced and balanced forces is external to the thing that's in motion, the thing that's being moved.
Did he just contradict himself? Let's just go back a few seconds. Look what he says about putting it in the air.
That thing was stationary, and I let it go, and it moves from the point it's at down to here. There must be an external force acting.
Yes. Well done. External force acting. What do you think that external force is, guys? What have we been saying all this time? What is displacement?
Huh.
Okay.
What is every object always subject to?
Yeah.
A medium. A
Medium.
medium. There is no condition anywhere at any time where an object is not within a medium. And the medium is either going to reject the object or the object is going to reject the medium. That's all there is.
Uh-huh.
If it accepts the medium, then guess what? That means it's achieved equilibrium.
Let me ask you a question. If you go jump in a swimming pool, does that water push on you?
Yes.
Okay. If you climb out of that swimming pool and where we're sitting now in the seat, do we have the medium of air pushing on us?
Yep.
Does that make external forces on us?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Dal.
Joe said he's just uploading a
But you
video.
don't have one, because you keep saying,
Sorry.
I'm saying Joe from Effed Up World. He says he's
Hey, what's
uploading a video or something that would be interesting. That we should be interested
Awesome,
in.
man.
Cool. Put the link in when it's done there, Joe. If it's done.
Angle of elevation. Well, there is no such thing as a pulling force, just different vectors. I hope that's a joke. Okay.
unbalanced and balanced forces and stuffs, and unbalanced and balanced forces is external to the thing that's in motion, the thing that's being moved. Not the thing in itself. Has no impulse, has no motion, has nothing. It's matter, dead, and
So he's again contradicting himself. He picked it up, he dropped it, he said, look, it moved. That's acceleration. It had an impulse, movement, external force. Everything he said is not there. He just demonstrated everything he said is not there. Well done, Dal. Well done. Oh, man. This guy's like contradicting overload himself.
animate matter. So, in order for it to move, there has to be an external force acting upon it. So when I drop it,
He drops it.
you're claiming this thing is stationary and now accelerates in that direction.
Yeah.
That needs an external force,
Yeah. Okay.
just like any other direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Great. He just accelerated. He just proved it. Did he not just accelerate
Aye.
when he dropped it?
Aye.
Didn't he tell us those things aren't really accelerating? They don't fall? Because he
Yeah,
says the
everything's
earth
going
rises up to meet it.
Yeah. Stationary.
And he just showed that it falls, it accelerated, and when he pushes it as well, it accelerates. Well done, Dal. Welcome to Flat Earth, buddy. Because I don't think he's a flat earther anymore the way he's going on anyway. The guy's literally pushes rhetoric.
Especially if he calls us flatards and flats. You know, I thought he was a flat earther too. So isn't he included in that flat title?
I don't know. It's really weird.
And that's what a glober calls us. So, is he a glober?
No, he claims it's still flat though, but he acts like a glober. He pushes globe rhetoric, flat Earth
Yeah.
society.
Yeah.
I know. It's just what Globers call us. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it might.
And he's an external force. Get a grip of yourselves, for fuck's sake.
I'm telling you right now, if the right people had gotten a hold of me, I could be a fucking master detective. This is no shit.
So that was Dell, guys.
What was your faces for, Del?
Wow. Okay.
Was he upset because I happen to possess a skill of deductive reasoning and logical thought? Is that really what?
Oh, is that when you were talking about being like you could have been a detective? Is that what?
Oh
that
yeah,
was?
yeah. I mean,
what's
for
wrong
real.
with
I've looked at shit that goes on, and I'm like, oh, here's what happened. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Weeks later, you find out detectives have uncovered that this, that, and the other is what happened. I'm like, yeah, that's what I said the first day. Remember? And it wasn't hard to figure out.
I'm going to quickly demonstrate something for Dell.
Oh, you got to do a bit of
Because you physically need to touch to,
Oh,
you got to move, you got to touch to cause an acceleration, correct?
So you're shaving your armpits for Dell? Come on, Flats.
I'm creating what we call static electricity, Dell.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And I'm gonna move a piece of paper that's static, and I'm gonna move pieces of paper without touching it. Pay attention now.
Little bits of foil as well.
Yeah, you can do it with styrofoam. You can do it with a whole bunch of things. Okay, Dell, piece of paper. Oh, I haven't got enough static.
Yeah, don't let it touch the table. It'll ground out.
I would have been easier with a balloon or something.
Would have been a lot easier with a balloon.
Okay. Try these little pieces of paper. I'm going to put it close.
There you go.
Oh, what happened?
Dal, did I touch those?
Mm-mm.
No,
Did I touch those pieces of paper? So
certainly
tell
didn't.
me, what caused that static paper to move without movement?
Pushing force, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And if you say static electricity, keep in mind what the word static means.
Oh yeah.
From stat, which means to stop or be motionless.
And notice that was a pulling force. The paper was pulled towards the ruler, not pushed.
Yep.
You're welcome, Dal.
I had that happen the other day. I was folding laundry. I took a towel. I forgot to put a dryer sheet in, right? So I picked up this towel, went to shake it out straight so I could fold it, and it started to go down. And when it got straight, it went whack and stuck right against my body.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Such as the simplest shit, stuff that we've even played with as children. You know, kids don't have these toys anymore. You know, like they've even done with the Legos. You used to get a box of Legos and you created stuff from your imagination. Now you have to get a space shuttle Lego set or a Disneyland Lego set or some other shit that has to go by the directions or it doesn't come out right. You can't really make anything out of it. It's you remember those little rockets? You put water in them and you put them on this thing and you pump them up, and then you pull that trigger and that sucker go flying way up. Wow, what a great lesson that is, as well as a fun toy. Gyroscope, those little wheels on a stick, you can go like that, and it keeps coming back and forth on the stick.
Yeah.
Man,
I find it amazing that Dal doesn't know that there's a such thing as he thinks energy doesn't exist. He thinks there's no such thing as pulling force, and he has the audacity to tell us we don't understand physics.
I know I run into that all day long. You don't understand geometry or physics, and them trying to talk to me about an angle on a ball. And I says, what angle does a sphere have? Can you tell me that? Lines have angles, arcs do not. Although both are measured in degrees, they're not the same. Okay. It's like what that shit he talked about, the what did he say? The perpendicular to an arc. And I'm like, what?
What? How do you perpendicular to arc?
No.
Sean doubled down on that shit too. He doubled down on it.
Well, you do know Sean's still saying we are all cowards. We don't want to debate him.
I told
The
him.
morons-
I answered his thing too. He put a post up today. I answered it too. I said, dude, go ahead and set it up. Nothing's stopping you. I already set it up once. You jacked out, right? And I'm not going to go through that again. I'm not going to embarrass myself by going through to set something up and you have little fucking issues and not want to do it. That's not my problem. That's your problem. So you set it up, buddy.
Well, look how bad it went for him when he tried to debate me once.
Oh my God.
He
Sat there like a petulant child.
refused to talk and then pretended his mic was broken.
Sat there like a damn petulant child. Or like when when you're arguing with your wife and they'll just ignore you, like not gonna talk, And this is another thing that I noticed about these guys. They really have a lot of effeminate traits. These Globers all have really heavy duty effeminate traits. I don't believe like Toon, Craig, I don't believe they had a male influence in their upbringing, like a father.
Yeah, I get you.
They're raised by mommy. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to explain another equation for Dell, just like we explained last night with unbalanced forces. Tonight, I'm going to be explaining Hooke's law. Do you guys know Hooke's law?
Not familiar.
I don't know. I've never even heard. I don't think I've heard of Hooke's law.
Oh, wait. Is that the one where you have to have this endless search for a crocodile that ate your hand?
Yeah, I've heard of that Hooke's law.
Okay. Hooke's law is, PJ, you should know all about this since you love catching fish. A fish scale.
Oh, okay. Oh,
You hang
hook.
a
That
fish
kind of
on a-
hook.
on a
Right,
hook.
got you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So how Hooke's
Hook
law?
with the person.
Yeah, because you hang the fish on here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it gives a weight reading.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's how
Okay.
we fish. Yeah.
So this
When
is
I
a
get a
pulling
big enough
force.
one to register on the scale, that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is a pulling force because the fish is pulling tension on the springs inside you. There's two springs
Right.
that sit here.
Right.
And the springs, they stretch with tension if weight is applied to it. So that weight of the fish is causing tension. So the F would be the weight, aka the fish, and the K would be the tension of the spring, and the X would be the distance of that tension of the spring.
Tension
That
times distance.
is an equation for Hooke's law, which shows demonstratively pulling force. You're welcome, Dal.
Yeah.
So we've given two examples now of pulling force that shows it not to be pushing.
Well,
So is Dal going to now go and concede?
if I was to try catching fish by pushing them, I won't be doing very well. No.
Oh, man.
It took a walk between you and the fish, pretty much.
My wife just messaged me and said, should I get this tattoo? And it says NASA lies. I said, no. And I'm thinking, what a redundant statement that is. Deception lies.
Deception lies, yeah.
Just want to say, Fabulous Block just popped in and Twitter as well. TikTok as well. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate you. And Mr. Ryan sent a rose. Ooh, really pretty. Thank you very much.
No, Ryan.
Yeah, our Ryan. Iron, you want to come in and talk about it, man? More than happy to talk about it. He says, where is the force applied to the hook? On the hook, the top, it is a push force, literally pull, colloquially. Again, Hooke's law states a pull, a tension of pull force, not push. Also, I showed static electricity, a pull force. So you can come in and talk if you want to. The link is above. You can come talk. More than happy to have a discussion with you. Just know you'll actually have to bring something other than just say nah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Fabulous. We are flat earthers. We're realists. And I'm taking you also realist. It's good to see you, man. Please don't forget to follow. I really need the follows. I really do. But it's good to see you. But yeah, any takers to come in and chat? Would really, really appreciate it. Iron, you can really come in. You can get Dell to come in as well. Did you see Execrate's latest video about the push and pull?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
or did I? I'm not sure. I don't think so.
No, it's very it's almost like a sad tint to it, like you can put sad music to something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to see if I quickly get it up. Okay. Let's see. Quickly sharing it. Push pull. This is from Execrate. This is his latest video.
Execrate excretes crap from his mouth. Simple.
Yeah. What? At least in this video, he wasn't triggered. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't swearing.
Okay.
So I take that as good. But
Okay.
listen to the idiocy he spews, though. It seems almost cult-like. I don't know.
He's got them talking about tug of war. We've actually given this example to him before.
This was published for 5 years.
And they put the same amount of pressure on the rope, which we will get to soon, in regards to push-pull. Again, these people think it's funny and don't comprehend it. Then what we see there is an unbalanced force, which means that the two people are going to go the direction that the three people are pushing it.
Three people are pushing. Oh, my word. They're pulling, Dal. They are pulling the rope.
Okay, so one last short thing on this applied pressure described as push and pull. Can we please just get past this thing of definitions and down to the actual physical?
Just ignore the definition,
mechanics?
guys. Just ignore the definition. Let's get past the thing of definitions. Heck, doesn't that sound familiar to you guys? Like what the Globies try and do to us?
Exactly. It's nothing to do with the definition of the word. It's the two different types of forces. The two different things. If I push something and I pull something, I'm using, like I said, doing different things with my muscles. Sometimes using different muscles, depending what type of push or pull. But yeah, the different.
No, but think about it. What do the Globies do? Exactly the same. Oh, we don't care about definitions. Yeah, because you guys, your belief system doesn't fit the definition of a word. Last time I checked, there's a reason for a definition. It's so everybody's on the same page to know what we're talking about. If we didn't have such thing as a definition, I could talk about a shoe, and to you, it would be a ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
You wouldn't get anywhere. That's why you have a definition. So when you have a definition for push and pull, meaning two different things, it means two different things. Not because you want it to mean one thing. Let's ignore the definition. That's just idiotic. And that's exactly what the Globers do with horizon and horizontal. With level. The same thing. They want to change what the definition is because it doesn't suit their narrative. Sean Hawkins popped on my channel today. It was like getting a visit from Marley's ghost. That's a good one. So yeah, guys, he's telling us let's just ignore definitions.
He's actually being a bit
They're
calm.
all pulling. They're all pulling.
It's tug of war. You're pulling towards you.
If you push, there'll be a bit of a slack in the middle. If they all push.
We understand how you're describing it. Push and pull. We understand what that means to you, but this whole thing with words, where
word.
somebody could use a word in a conversation with another, but is the other person, is the other party in that conversation, when they hear that word, are the same images, thoughts, experiences, feelings, emotions being imparted to that person with those words? Until we actually address this, how can we ever know what each other is actually talking about? Even if we're listening.
Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Well, that's what definitions for then, so we know what each other's talking about.
Yeah, I see. Even Sog's like really flabbergasted. What the hell?
Yeah. But he is being calm for a change.
God.
Why is it so hard for them just to say, okay, yeah, we were wrong. Sorry, we concede?
Because they're full of ego. They
They
run from a place.
wrong.
They operate from a place of ego. They have no concept of their higher self, of their consciousness. They're only going with what is the desire of the flesh. And to be wrong, oh my God, that would make people's perception of me change or some shit like that. See, that's not operating from anywhere but from right in the self.
Cheers, Rod. Good night, man. Thank you. Take it easy. Thanks for coming. But yeah, exactly. But how's that on screen? What is showing? He's showing a guy pulling a car.
Right.
And he puts the emotion. I just want to say, first of all, he literally showing on screen pulling, the thing that Dal says doesn't exist. Okay? And he's using energy, the thing that Dal says doesn't exist. Does that guy exert energy to pull the car? The answer is yes. Absolutely. Is he tired, exhausted after pulling the car? The answer is yes.
Depending on how fit he is, absolutely.
So the thing is not, the argument shouldn't be, let's just ignore definitions. The argument should be, you guys have claimed something that is not true, and you should concede because even your own arguments show false. Simple as that. Just face the facts. You don't have it's moving because it's moving, because you have an energy which gives the movement. Movement is a byproduct of energy. It's a byproduct of the force. That's it. There's no two ways around it. There's no making shit up. You can't change physics just because it doesn't suit you. That is what's going on. That's how things work. That's motion. You require energy, in other words, a force, to have that motion. Motion doesn't cause motion. Energy, transference of force, causes the motion.
Well, I mean, if I thought a push and a pull was the same force, I'd say so, but I don't. I really don't. I know it's not.
We wouldn't have two different words. Okay? We wouldn't have two different words. Push or pull would mean the exact same thing. Okay? That's that. We wouldn't have two differentiating words. It's like these people saying, oh, he meant a sphere. And it's like, no, they had a specific word for sphere. Okay, this is a circle they're talking about. Circles are not spheres. All those spheres are circular. They are not circles. They are spheres. That's like I'm asking this bozo on here. I said, how many angles are there on a sphere? What's the angle of a sphere? Duh. Can't.
It's crazy.
You know, and I start losing. If you talk to enough of these people, you start losing faith in humanity at all.
Oh yeah.
You're like, we're fucked.
We're literally living in idiocracy, guys. The idiocracy movie is playing out really like it's a documentary or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all the world is a stage. We are merely players.
Uh-huh.
I love that song, Limelight. He says it right in there. He says, all the world is a stage. We are merely players, performers and portrayers, each another's audience inside a gilded cage.
Mm. Aye.
Okay, let's finish his sad situation.
Unless we're comprehending the other's interpretations and meanings and definitions, and vice versa.
See, there he's pushing. You see, he's
This
letting go
is
of the
never going
slack.
to
He's
get
not
anywhere.
pulling anymore. Where's the rope going?
So I understand your
Now he's going to
description
pull again.
of the motion that's taking place and how you describe push and pull in relation to the objects' relationship to one another, whether they're getting closer or further apart. Now I totally get that. Can you try to understand that the actual physical mechanics
Okay, you know what?
of those things?
We have, well, since Iron ran away once you asked him to come defend, angle of elevation is saying Dal is correct. So you want to come in and defend your nonsense? So angle of elevation, do you want to come in and defend your nonsense that push and pull are the same thing?
Come on. See.
The link is above. Come in. Because no, they're not the same thing. We've been showing over and over tonight they're not the same thing. Just saying they are doesn't make it so.
Things you're describing are applied pressure. If you can't see that, I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't.
No one ever
Can
claimed
anybody show me?
Pile of bodies.
Can anybody show me a tug of war where they push the rope, please?
You would need a pole for that. a
pushing
rigid
the
pole.
rope. He's pulling the rope. Then. Oh, really? He thinks that's pushing the rope, guys.
Yeah, that car's
Oh,
pushing
my
the rope,
word.
obviously. Is he trying to glom onto the equivalency principle or something?
He thinks that's pushing the rope. You're not pushing the rope there. You're still pulling the rope. The car is behind you, coming towards you.
It's because you turned your body around.
Yeah, the rope is actually extending,
Oh.
okay? And this is one of the reasons that before they would hang someone, they would have to soak the rope and hang a weight on it so that it would lose its spring tension when the person dropped to the end of it. That meant sure that the rope was stretched out, not pushed in, stretched out so that the person's neck would snap properly.
No stress, Angle, but it's good to see you, man. Thanks for coming anyway. Exactly, Mr. Cheswick. There we go. Flat's demonstration with static and paper debunks the push-pull, in my opinion, unless the paper was pushed towards the ruler. Exactly. But they just ignore that, though. I mean, have these... It's like, have they ever heard of...
I've actually
Yeah.
never ever heard this before. Where pushing and pulling is the thing, same force. I've never heard that ever.
I mean, have you guys ever heard of things like oversteer and understeer in a car?
Yeah.
Why do you think a front-wheel drive oversteers? Understeers. Front-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive oversteers. Yeah. Okay, I was right. Oversteers. It's because you are pulling the car and the weight is pushing on you while you're pulling the car, and the power is still turning, so it's just too much of the friction you're going. Now, when you have understeer because of a rear-wheel drive car, the car is being pushed by the back. Okay, so you're being pushed by the back, and that's why you have the back coming out. So with front wheel, you are pulling the car. Back wheel drive, you are pushing the car.
if anybody that's ever had to drive on icy conditions, they will understand that you have to totally redesign your compensation efforts in a front wheel drive than as opposed to a rear wheel drive car. You will definitely, and you really want to throw some mix into it, start dicking with 4-wheel drive.
I know this is vulgar, but I had to put up. Brilliant, Brian. That's to the T, correct.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, aren't they nowadays? It doesn't matter now, does it?
Exactly the same, because it's exactly the same. It's the same equivalent, because they're saying a push and a pull are both forces, so therefore they're the same thing. Yeah, well, a man and a woman's genitals are sexual.
But Flat,
doesn't make it the same thing.
You can turn a pussy into a dick. It's not real hard. All you have to do is give him a badge.
Oh, nice. I like that. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Yes, my other hobbies is art. I do love doing art. When I had the time, I always used to do airbrushing. I used to enjoy that a lot. But it takes a lot of time. These days, I'm just too busy to do anything of hobbies. But this is also like a hobby. I enjoy this. This is a passion. Roger just says, I have an idea. Read a book on physics. Yes, I totally agree. Roger, you rock, man. Thank you very much for your super chat. But I mean, how's this guy thinking that this is pushing? He's still pulling. The car is behind him. This is how dumb on a fundamental. It's just, I don't know. If you had to show this to someone in a university, they're going to laugh at you. They're literally going to think there's something wrong.
And pressure.
Somebody pushing a rope. That's what I'm wanting to see.
Yeah, and Dal, to let you know, pressure is a push. It's a forcing on an object, not pulling away. Pressure doesn't pull. Pressure pushes against.
Yeah.
Wow, I actually got no words.
So he thought that was him showing pushing a rope, guys. That's what we have to contend with.
The resistance is behind them, not in front of them. So it's a pull.
And Dal also told me that it's only a pull or whatever because it's observer relative. So in other words, if it's pulled towards you, then it's a pull. No, just like he showed, I wanted to take a slinky, but I couldn't find the short slinky. When I pull the slinky apart, it's not towards me. I'm pulling it apart from each other. I'm stretching it away from each other. The point of interception is away. That's pulling. It's got nothing to do with the observer. I can have put in a press and walked away, and it can still pull away from each other.
KG gaming again.
Sorry?
KG gaming again. Calling us dumb.
Oh, hey.
Gone.
That sock that was running away from us the other night. And again, you can come and talk to us. The link is above. Maybe you'll be mad enough this time. Or maybe you can get Dell to come in. Because apparently Dell says he's not you. So
F me, you lot are dumb. Stationary earthers dumber than Globa with their pulling forces. Zero comprehension. This is hilarious.
Okay, I've got a question for all the Deltardians. I'm gonna pull this. Okay, I'm pushing it as you put it. Tell me how much force I'm pushing it with, please. How much force did I push this ruler while I'm pulling it apart? Tell me.
Yeah. Why are the molecular bonds of that straining against that force? What is going on there?
Yeah. You'd be compressing them if you were pushing them together, wouldn't you? There you're pulling them apart.
Is compression and expansion both the same thing?
Apparently.
Great. So now it's only just a little skip over to up is down and down is up, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
literally push the
much.
globe rhetoric, guys. There are globe earthers in flat earth clothing. What can we say?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so anybody want to come in and
But
talk about
accusing
this
us of
or
the same
anything?
thing. You know what I mean? Accuse us of being globers whilst being more like globers themselves.
Yeah, while he's doing this, yeah, let's quickly show this because he loves saying we are pushing globe rhetoric. Okay. I'm going to bring up the Flat Earth Society. I just want to get the Flat Earth Society page quickly. If I can find their page now. What? Where is it? The Flat Earth Society. So I'm just looking for their page. I don't seem to be able to get it up now. It's bringing me everything else except the Flat Earth Society page. Has anybody a link for it?
No.
What are we wanting a link to again?
The Flat Earth Society. I can't get their normal ordinary page. Just give me everything else except their page.
There we go. Hang on.
It's been shadow banned. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
link. Thank you very much. Okay, then we're going to share screen. And then we're going to show everybody what Dell actually pushes. And Dell, you're going to tell us if we're the ones pushing globe rhetoric and flat earth society nonsense or you are. Okay. Flat Earth Society, you can see this is their page, flatearthsociety.org home. This is their page. The online library contains a growing selection of flat earth resources. We have interviews, newspapers, magazine, blah, 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 blah. Let's see what they actually believe. Einstein's relativity proves the earth is flat. Okay.
Okay.
This is what Dell pushes, guys. Note, this is what Dell pushes. In this article, we will show how ridiculous the globe truly is by demonstrating how it actually describes a flat earth. Newton's laws of motion. Every object in state of uniform motion, that's constant motion as Dell says, correct, tends to remain in that state of motion unless an external force is applied to it. So moving causes moving. The acceleration of an object is produced by the net force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the net force.
This is fucking
The
great.
same direction as the net force and inversely proportional to the mass of the object, F equals ma. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, Einstein's equivalence principle. That's what Tao pushes. Einstein was found to form an inquiry known as thought experiments. In a thought experiment, a premise is assumed to deduct from its possible consequences. One of these thought experiments is particularly involved a solitary passenger of an elevator that is alone in the universe. When the elevator starts accelerating upwards, a pull downwards is felt by the passenger. This is due to the passenger's inertia. Recall that body is rest tends to stay at rest. Einstein's hypothesized that since the pull caused by the momentum of the passenger fighting against his acceleration is indistinguishable from gravitational influences, it is only logical to assume that they are one and the same phenomenon. Comparatively, another pseudo-force-like arises from rotating reference frame, Dadal. Say if one is on a spinning carnival ride, one would presumably feel a pull away from the center. So, consider a scenario of this elevator accelerating upwards at 9.81 meters per second. Dal. And the passenger here jumped in the elevator while it was accelerating upwards at 9.81 meters per second. The rate at which we are pulled to the Earth by gravitational forces would be observed to be the same effect as if we were jumped on the Earth, and initial resistance would be felt. The ground, or elevator floor, would recede away from him at 9.81 meters per second until it has traveled enough distance to expend the force given by jumping. So in other words, the ground rising to meet the jumped guy. Then the elevator floor would rise up to meet him. This can be seen in observation illusion. The elevator floor can be seen either by accelerating upwards, or the passenger could be seen as falling towards the floor, to the passenger. It is indistinguishable. Einstein's reductive leap here was the relation that perhaps the forces are indistinguishable because they are both accelerating frames of reference. The idea that gravitation is a pseudo force arising from naive, which you say non-inertial frame of reference to inertial one, is known as the equivalence principle. In short, gravitational pull then is shown as an observational illusion hinging on our naive view of frame of reference being inertial. Gravity is actually revealed as an inertial force, also known as a vectitious force. Should we go on, guys? What does Dal push exactly?
That.
That.
There you go.
To the T. That's what Dal pushes, guys.
So
And
he's part of a government psyop.
And he has the audacity to say we are pushing globe.
Yeah.
When we say the Earth is stationary, what does the globe say the Earth is doing? Moving.
Lots of different vectors at once.
What's Dal saying the Earth is doing?
Moving.
And we say it's stationary. Awesomeness, yeah. Dal says push and pull are the same thing, so that's just idiotic. We already showed that to be idiotic. The point is, he says the Earth is accelerating at a constant, just like the flat Earth society, and that's why we have the way we see. He pushes the equivalence principle. He is pushing flat Earth society, and we're calling him out for it. It's as simple as that. Angle of elevation, yes, it would be getting faster and faster. We should be, according to their idiotic thing, we should be traveling light speed already into space. I don't know how that would happen, what we're going into, how we got that inertial velocity in the first instance, and where we're going to anyway. Good eye.
We'll be going somewhere. There's got to be a.
Check it out. It says, subscribe to Aristotle's fallacy, not Newton's laws. I don't agree with him on that one. He's accelerating Earth, not constant rising Earth. That's exactly what we read. Constant rising Earth was exactly what we read now. Did we not, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not a straw man. It is to a T what Dal pushes. Because he says the ground is rising up to meet the object, not the object meeting the ground.
All right.
So I just want to go blow my nose again. My nose is closed.
It's closed. Like a camel. I honestly have never heard this before. People think pushing and pulling forces are the same thing. It's the first time I've ever heard it. Like I said yesterday, I thought it was a mistake. I thought it was a slip of his tongue. That was it. That was it. Wow. Crazy.
Damn it. I can't find it.
How come you haven't come in tonight, Ryan?
Okay. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
So, no, any takers yet?
No, they ain't gonna come.
And if you people don't believe me, we can go look at some things Dell's been pushing because they say I'm just strawmanning him. Where I could show him actually trying to explain it with demonstration.
Is he still got that bottle experiment up where he drops the bottle out the window?
Oh yeah. He keeps that stuff up. Beyond imaginary. Oh, is someone trying to come in? Yeah. Cookie Monster, what's up?
There he is. There he is. I just said to him, how come you ain't been in tonight?
Let's see where he's trying to explain it with a spin as well. Oh no, these are all old. Doesn't he have that one where he has showing where it's rotating?
Well, that's the point, Peculiar.
Oh, yeah.
He did have it right for a long time. So yeah, definitely give him props for that. But why? Don't understand why he's changed. Why he's changed? Because what I remember, he always seemed to push the same type of stuff as we did. I mean,
yep, exactly. No, I got a lot of sinuses today. It's crazy.
can you
But it usually happens with me when it's season change.
I get that too.
Oh, it's crazy. When you get where he's trying to explain.
What?
I think it's going to happen, yeah. Right about you.
That it's the earth that meets it. So we can have
There we go.
garbage. If you think when you touch something it's gained something new, you are a lunatic. You are in the cult of lunacy. And you need to stop regurgitating that shit.
Lunacy.
Seriously. Let me just check my camera here. Yeah, I'm still on, that's good. I'm just going to try and remember
Yeah.
some of the other stuff, right? So people are now saying to me, you can't get outside the reference frame to know that it's in motion. Well,
Listen to what he says,
the effects here within the reference frame are showing me. And you've got two options. You're going to assert that the thing moves through space itself by some, magical means, or it's the Earth that meets it. Now, when I'm saying that that it's the Earth that meets it, so we can have other possibilities, right? So,
I'm saying it's the Earth that beats it. You guys just heard that, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me again how it's a straw man when we said he says the Earth beats it like the Flat Earth Society does.
For the Earth to meet it, it would have to be rising up. If the car isn't moving, then and for the Earth to meet it, then the Earth would have to be rising up.
Exactly. So, can anyone explain how he's straw manning him? If that's exactly his claim.
I don't know.
So I don't think I need to show any more than that. Hey, Ellen, what's up? So, I guess they won't have any people that want to come and defend Dell's idiotic arguments.
Well, I don't.
I was just saying, who wants to come in and take up on the losing side of an argument?
Exactly.
Nobody.
No, you're just retarded.
Yeah.
Because that's all we get is just insult. Why do we only get insult?
So what's it said? Sea Lightning said, it said the sun is rising in New Zealand in 5 minutes. Do you see the sun in England?
No,
Yep.
you wouldn't.
Of course not.
It's too far away. It's the same as saying, solve quickly, light your cigarette, please. Go outside. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to see if I can see your cigarette light. Okay.
Right? I'll turn on my headlights to my Jeep. I'll see if you can see that.
Ooh, Flat Earth destroyed. Who's Flat Earth destroyed?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
Hey, we got you CJ23 back.
Yeah. Yeah. Back again to epically own you again. You're very brave for posting your annihilation in the shorts.
Yeah.
It was funny. I had to post it. You did such a good job.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty embarrassing for you. There's no comeback from that.
Aye. You know,
Yeah.
he claims what he claims, and he's brave enough to put his face to it and claim it. That's definitely brave. Because to me, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but fair play to him. It's what he actually believes in. All the power to him, but it's not for me. Definitely not for me.
Did you watch his newest video?
Yeah, we showed it tonight.
Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Because I sent it in the chat because it was pretty interesting.
What do you have to say about it?
I don't really know. I just saw it and then I sent it in the chat. I only watched a little bit of it. I just wanted to see what you guys were saying about it. What did you think about it?
Sorry, what video?
The newest one, it's like physics for flat sliding crew or whatever.
Well, he let's put it this way. He tried to tell us we're morons, because he says pushing and pulling are the same things. While he shows on screen what happens when he pushes and pulls a string, shows us impulse, which he says doesn't exist.
Yeah. That part was why I was going to say that.
Shows us energy transference, which he says doesn't exist.
Well, obviously, because energy is just like a concept and you can't isolate it. Right? So until you isolate it, it's not a real flatsoid. It's just a conceptual description, right?
Well, Dal should isolate up and rising Earth for us.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Actually, he should make the Earth stop and then move again just to check.
Exactly. Just to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, just to do it in an experiment, you know? Because he's all about his practical demonstrations.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I don't know if he'll do that. I don't know if he'll, stop the Earth. I don't know if he's that powerful.
And he made a claim that you can only move an object by pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I mean, yeah, that's what I said yesterday. That
So what I did is I took a ruler and I applied some static electricity to it, and I accelerated a paper. It pulled towards the ruler without touching it.
Mm-hmm. So there was no pressure point on the eyelet. So there was no pushing pressure point on the eyelet because there was no eyelet. That's a pulling force.
Aye, but you still pushed it because the only way to move is to push, remember? So add the motion is just pushing, right? So that's not a practical demonstration, right? So the electricity and the charge pushed it. You just didn't see it, right?
Exactly. I said pushed it from behind.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye. And also the electric's moving because it's moving as well.
Pulling is just pushing in the opposite direction.
Oh, I've got a super chat from Ian. Did I see that now? Right, correct. Thank you very much for your 20 Australian dollars. He says you literally said accelerating elevator. This is not constant speed. Yes, I said accelerating because that's what the Flat Earth Society says. But the accelerating elevator was just the equivalence principle explained. The constant was 9.8 meters per second. That is your guys' claim. 280. The Earth is rising to meet the object at 9.8 meters per second. But thank you very much, Ian, for the super chat. Really appreciate it.
He says he's not rising after, by the way.
I know. Iron's rocks. I got nothing wrong with Iron. Iron's really cool guy. But I'm just saying that is what Dell pushes. He has been pushing it all the time. Yeah, 9.8 meters per second is a constant, Iron. It's a constant.
He's pushing from the other side, yeah.
Let's see. What did I want to show? I wanted to do something. I can't really.
You got a good joke for the dead air, though. This doctor says, I have a lot of experience with animals. I used to work at a zoo circumcising elephants. And the guy says, how was that? He says, the hourly wage wasn't great, but the tips were huge.
No.
No, I did.
That's actually good. Man. Thanks, Peculiar. Have a great evening further. Thank you for coming. Stephanie, hello. Why though? Trying to tie in gravity. You see, Stephanie, he doesn't push gravity either. That I know. Okay, he also thinks gravity is bullshit. But he's trying to push a gravity model invertedly without trying to push it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because he's pushing the globe rhetoric. He's pushing Einsteinian gravity.
But take it easy, Peculiar. Good night, man.
But yeah, it's you see, he says Dell subscribes to meters per second constant speed, not meters per second. But there's an issue there with that, I know, because we can measure things drop at 9.8 meters per second.
Yep.
We measure that. Okay. When it reaches terminal velocity, it stays at that 9.8 meters per second.
For all you Americans, that's 32 feet per second.
Yeah. So Dell is pushing acceleration, even though he doesn't want to claim it's acceleration. He is. It's just a constant acceleration. I'm not straw manning him, Ian. I'm just saying what his position is. That's exactly what he's pushing. I don't know how much straw manning someone that says that's what they say. Ow. Roger Nettle, thank you very much for your $2 super chat. He says Dell is a god in his own mind.
Small G.
Yes, please keep it small G. Thanks. Really appreciate it, man. You rock. But yeah, I'm not trying to straw man him anyway, guys. I'm just saying that is what he pushes. I showed you that's what he pushes. So the problem is his argument contradicts himself. That's why it doesn't make sense. Dave. Hold it in, man. Hold it longer. Man. You needed help of gravity to hold it longer, you know? You muted.
Didn't have just enough gravity. I'm starting to experience refractive gravilax now. That's awesome.
No, Roger, you rock, man.
Were you pushing or pulling that in?
Hey. Hey,
Both.
One Mind, what's up? Good to see you, man.
Both, because they're the same. That's why we have two different words for it.
Uh-huh.
I One Mind.
I mean, one's a
How's it going, One Mind? You're us. I don't know if his mic's working.
Towards and away. Towards and away. That's how shit works.
Yep. Yeah, shout out to Mikey Smith. He really does do a good job as well. I do appreciate what he does. He does actual street activism and stuff. No stress, One Mind. Like I said, I don't think your mic was working, but it's good to see you, man. Well, we finished quite early tonight.
Well, that was a cakewalk, man.
Yeah, we to at least show up. Dell was brave enough to show up before the stream, you know what I mean? I thought maybe he'll at least attempt to come. But yeah, Dal, like you said, we don't want to fight with you, man. We feel but with someone pushing the flat Earth society, because that is making a mockery of the flat Earth. And unfortunately, we can't stand for that. Simple as that. And I think you would feel the same way if it was the other way around. So I think this game has to come to an end, and he should just concede that he's wrong. And then we can all work together. How's that?
Or just go on with your little stupid nonsense and, just do your thing. Do your thing, man. I don't let anything stray me off the straight and narrow off of where I'm going. I really don't.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have a whole lot of patience. I mean, if you got questions, you want to talk about this shit, that's fine. You're gonna come up being a belligerent fucktard. I'm not giving you the time of day. I don't even care. If I've explained it to you and you don't get it, well, that's a you problem. I'm not going to keep beating it into your head. If you're just not able to grasp it, you can't grasp it. I wish you luck. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to fight with these guys. I'm also telling you, this is getting old now. You know what I mean? It's like you've been corrected how many times in so many different ways. Just time to accept it. You're wrong, move on.
Yeah, I've just been on Messenger with Mikey Smith. He'll be on mine tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. GMT. So it'll be his 7 a.m. I think. So I've got a show in the afternoon, and then I'll have. I know we're not at the end yet. It's just because I've been on Messenger with Mikey, so I just thought I'd bring it up. And then I'll have the nighttime one because obviously you're off. It's your day off.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I don't know if Michael will be back yet. He's possible he might be back for it. I don't know. For the second one, he won't be back for the first one. I know
that. He says Sean Hawkins popped up on my channel today. It was like getting a visit from Marley's ghost. He could give you a fright. Oh my God, this guy.
Let me put on screen quickly because I see someone was asking me about the pull force equation. Is it showing on screen, guys?
Yep.
There we go. That's it. That's what you use for pull force. Now, push force, you use F equals MA. And for pull force, you use FP, which is a force pull equals the F. Mass times acceleration and pulling. So mass is the object being pulled on kilograms. A P is the acceleration due to the pull force. There we go. So what is a pull force? Definition. A pull force is a force that pulls on an object and causes it to accelerating in the same directions as the pulling. So there we go. Is that colloquially, guys?
Sounds pretty cut and dry. I noticed nowhere on it did it say C pull. C push.
Yeah.
I don't see no
push and pull are two different things.
Synonyms. Push.
Yeah, because push and pull are two different things. They're both forces, but they act differently. The one is towards, the one is away. The one is a pressure, the one isn't. Now you can have a pressure mechanism to have in conjunction with a pulling force, obviously. You know, like when you get like the strongmen where they pull a plane or something and they got a harness on. They apply pressure to that harness. But the mechanics behind it, it's pulling the plane behind it in the direction that you are pulling the plane. If you're pushing, you are behind the object, pushing it in the opposite direction. Pulling is same direction, pushing is opposite direction.
I've I've just changed the name for
Same
tomorrow
direction,
afternoon.
just you behind it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm just saying I've just changed the name for tomorrow after. Now I know Mikey's going to be there. I've put with Mikey Smith in the title.
No,
It's a shame I didn't put him already in the thumbnail, but I can always do that at a later date. You know what I mean? It's afternoon coffee with Mikey Smith.
Yeah. Hey, bye Bitcoin. Good to see you, man. Thank you for coming in, TikTok. Glad to have you. Please hit the likes. Okay, guys, I think we can end the show then, because it doesn't look like we're going to get any
They're never going to show up.
people coming to. Yeah, Sandra, horses pull carts. Like we said, the rebuttal I got from Dal was laughing at me when I said that.
I'm just wondering if he incorporates that into his language. Does he actually say things like, if he says to someone, "Go pull that from," does he say, "Go push that for me"? If he's actually saying, like, pull the rope,
that's what I'm saying.
He actually incorporate it into his language. Does he say, "Pull that, push that for me"?
Doors.
I mean,
Like,
if you
push the door when it says pool.
Daddy, can you take me out and pull me on the swing?
but look at it this way: when you pull a handbrake up, does he push the handbrake up?
No.
No.
So yeah. Anyway, I think it's just an idiotic argument, and he should get let go of it and actually move on. I mean, the guy's an engineer, for Pete's sake. If he had to go and say this nonsense to anybody, they're gonna literally just say, "Sorry, you lost your contract with me," because no one's gonna trust the guy that says there's no such thing as a pull for.
That's right.
So yeah. Anyway, thanks all for coming. Oh yeah.
Don't be
Saf,
pushing my leg.
You wanna quickly plug your
Yeah, man. Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind on YouTube. You can also reach me at SSUM369 on Rumble. We go live most nights. I'm planning on going live tonight. We had a really good show last night, going over the Dave Weiss appearance on the Alex Jones show. Wow. The little bit of respect that I might have had for Alex Jones went right out the freaking window, man. Never to look back. That was amazing to me. We also got to see some behind the scenes stuff too. So that right from Dave Weiss's phone. So that's pretty cool too. So yeah, pop on over there, check it out, like and subscribe. And we should be going live tonight at 9:35, God willing, and the creek don't rise, you know? So
The thing I didn't get from that is they start the whole time. They ask a question, then he starts literally. Let's put it this way: how does gas coalesce to each other? Oh, did you guys know what Trump? It's like, what? Now you want to talk about Trump, but you're talking about gas coalescing. Or they ask about what is, they ask something also about the flood, and then he goes, oh, but this book starts talking about another book. And literally every single time they ask him a question, he runs out of topic and says totally the 180% opposite of what they were talking about.
Yep. He'll ask something completely unrelated right in the middle of while they're explaining what he just asked.
Yes, Angle, we know there's pressure on the handle. The point is, when you're applying pressure on the handle, that is a push, your hand. The action is a pull. The whole door is pulling towards you. Mm-hmm. Him trying to change the definition of the pull just because you apply pressure to a handle doesn't make it a push.
I mean, there doesn't have to be an eyelet there. I mean, you can grip onto something from the sides and pull. There's no.
How about how about automatic doors?
Yeah.
Those open and close due to pull and push without you doing anything.
No, right. So they actually push themselves because things move by their own moving, right? So if they choose, right, to push themselves, then just let them, right? They have the right. Right.
Yeah.
Also, there's pressure on the door handle, so it is a push, as Delt says.
Yeah.
So when you grip something, if it's going towards you, that's a pull because there's pressure. It's a push because there's a pressure. According to Dal.
Yeah, next time the door says push, try pull and see what happens.
You go right down to where the initial transfer of energy comes from, right? If you push or you pull, and ultimately, if you're doing it, it's coming from your muscles, right? What's going on when you push things? You're expanding your muscles. What's going on when you pull something? You're contracting your muscles. So they're different.
Yeah.
They're equal and opposite forces.
In some cases, you might use different muscles also with a push and a pull.
Yep.
Pulling's a lot of back muscle and stuff like that. Pushing's like chest. You know what I mean?
And this constant looking for a replacement of something that didn't exist in the first place.
I just asked my daughter, who's 13, what the difference between push and pull was. And you know what she said? She told me the difference between the two.
Oh, yeah, it's because that's what it is. There's a difference.
I wonder how she knew that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Energy, can she do that?
I'm not dying on this hill in consequence. Well said. Well said.
You guys can see the screen.
Oh yeah.
Aye.
Show me where the pushing is, please.
None.
Electromagnetic magnets.
And there's no gripping force.
Look what's going to happen. Uh-oh.
No, wait.
And
The push.
There's no.
Right. You can't see it, but the push is actually under. So like the magnets and the electricity, they like sneak under the metal, and then it pushes it up. But you're, imbecile. You can't comprehend mind things as a pull because you're not enlightened enough like me, right? So it's actually secret magnetic push, right? Secret magnetic push, right? That's what's going on. That is the truth.
It's esoteric, dude. Only a few people know.
Yeah, it's like sacred, divine, and Gnostic knowledge will, help you achieve gnosis, and you'll escape the demiurge.
Full illumination.
Yeah, right. Yeah, literally. Everything will be revealed, and you'll know.
Absolutely.
Okay, PJ, you're gonna push your
yeah. Got Mikey Smith coming on in the afternoon, 2 p.m. GMT. Everybody knows the time anyway, sort of thing. The shows are already up, and then nighttime one we'll carry on with the Tower Babel found at 8 p.m. GMT. Same time as Flats is usually on. So yeah, 2 shows tomorrow.
Nice.
What do you guys think the Tower of Babel looked like?
Big. Alpha big.
Yeah.
Because the main
I don't know,
painting
but it was pulling people.
because the main painting that people show of it is inaccurate. Was written by a guy. No, was painted by like a guy. Like 1,000 years. Like 1,000 years after that. I didn't really know.
Next time you watch the paper, start yelling, "Poo, poo."
Wait, hold on. When I breathe, right? When I take a deep breath, right? Am I pushing the air into me, or am I pulling the air into me?
You're creating a low pressure system, and the air is forcing itself into your lungs.
So it's a push.
Yeah.
Yeah, because pressure is push.
Yeah.
$2 super chat from Roger says witchcraft, automatic doors. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. You rock. Really appreciate it. Okay, guys, I think we're going to end it here. The point is, Dal, yes, push and pull are 2 different things, okay? I can show you demonstrations with static, magnetic, and even your own demonstrations prove that pull and push are 2 different things. No one's denying you have to apply pressure when holding some things. No one's denying that. Still, Push and pull are two different forces. No doubt about that. And I just think you just concede. Just have to concede. You were wrong. We can move on, and that's about it. The point is, you want this to be right because you want the Earth to be rising. That's your problem. We can show things move due to relative density disequilibrium. Yes. Doesn't need moving to cause moving. It moves because it has an unbalanced force because of its ratio to density of the medium around it.
Yep.
If the air cannot support it, it has to accelerate. If it can support it, it has a balanced force, so therefore it can't move. There we go. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you very much for coming, guys. You guys rock. Many, many blessings, and we'll see you all Wednesday night. PG will see you tomorrow night, and